Alright, we have made it to our next map in Chapter 2. And it was just a little in-betweeny bit with Ashen Hawk, so we haven't missed much, really. There's only one short episode on this map, I believe. But there is an interview question. So, Lugus is at the tavern this time, so we'll go and talk to him there. What's your one wish, sir?
That is a foolish question. There is nothing other than fulfilling my father's ideals. My father's wishes are mine as well.
Really? I know you want to travel, sir. You can be honest with me. Okay. And now, new episode! Brother and sister! So I assume we're gonna hang out with T as well, which will be great. I picked up the hem of my skirt while walking through the crowd in the town square. I was getting used to dressing like this. I didn't hesitate when going through crowds anymore. It gets easier once you get used to it. I felt my mannerisms were more feminine now, and the way I talked was passable. My posture changed when I was more confident. If I had been raised as a girl, is this what I would be like? Maybe I would think skirts were cumbersome and start wearing male clothes. I don't think I would be anything like Francisca. But I might have girlfriends. Aw, that's so wholesome. I thought of those things sometimes. Living life as a man, I tended to be surrounded by other men. Whenever I spoke with women, I worried they'd find out I was a woman myself. It was hard to gauge my distance with others. I did want to talk to women at times. I wondered what they talked about. How would I interact with my friends? Would we get excited when talking about love? If I were to be reborn, I'd want to live life as a normal girl. Aww. I walked around thinking of this hypothetical life and suddenly smelled something fragrant. I wonder what it is. It smells good. I was thinking seriously, but my appetite decided to drown it all out. I know that feeling. I was drawn to the aroma and arrived at a stall selling stacks of dough. That looks good. The yellowish dough was freshly baked and just the right size to be carried by hand. They were putting a generous amount of sticky honey on them as they passed them on to customers. I was starting to drool just looking at it. I got the urge to chomp down on one immediately. But I haven't been handling very many jobs recently because of my search for the Kaleidovia. I was trying my best to save money. That sucks when you really, really, really want something, but you're like, oh, I should be responsible, not spend it on a frivolous thing that's gonna be gone in 5 seconds, but it smells so good. But one wouldn't be so expensive. Maybe I could have one as a meal. But wouldn't it be cheaper to buy the ingredients and make something myself? Yes, but I'm hungry now. Those thoughts circled around my head as I paced back and forth in front of the stall. Oh, excuse me! I bumped into someone because of it. How embarrassing. I quickly apologized, but realized it was someone I knew. Oh, of course it was you. I'm like, did we run into T? And like, nope, it's Lugus. I froze upon seeing his face. I didn't think I would see Lugus here. On top of that, it was when I was enduring internal strife about whether to buy something to eat. Internal strife. I love it. Wow, she is so tiny compared to him. I've seen the two of them next to each other, but something about this angle just really highlights to me how tiny she is. What's the matter, brother? T popped out from behind Lugus. Upon seeing me, T frowned and jumped in front of Lugus. I suppose that's a natural reaction. The last time I met T in this outfit was right after Lugus apologized to me. She asked why her brother was bowing to me and some other questions. Hello. Are you two out here for some shopping? I tried to give a polite greeting, but...
Yeah.
That's right. We're shopping just the two of us. Lugus tried to answer, but T interrupted him. She must be trying to keep me away from him. Haven't distracted her enough as Jed yet. But we would never go and buy street food like you. It seems like she mistook me for being about to buy food here because I was in front of the stall. No, I was just thinking about it. Internal strife.
Didn't you say that it looked good, T? I thought this kind of food was your favorite.
Damn. Threw his sister under the bus. But, brother! T turned bright red after Lugus said something she didn't want him to. This does look good, but I was planning on saving it for next time. I have no intention of eating it at all. Standing around while eating is improper. Right when we were both about to leave the stall. That noise. My stomach growled loudly. Uh-oh! But there was something off about it. I looked up and saw T also holding her stomach and turning red. It seemed like our stomachs growled at exactly the same time. Oh no! It's embarrassing, but we're the same. That must have been some animal making a call. Huh? An animal? I heard some strange animal noises. That's odd. It must have gone into hiding. The way she tried to hide it was so forced that it made me want to laugh. Yes, I wonder what kind of animal it was. I tried to go along with it, but behind T's bright red face, I saw Lugus walking toward the stall. He's like, I gotta take care of these girls. Yep, he's like, they're hungry, I'm going to take care of these two.
I'll take 2. Yes, sir, right away.
Brother? He's buying them because of tea? That's kind of him. But brother, I'm fine. We don't have to eat around here.
But you love these kinds of things.
That may be true, but... While they were talking, a honey pastry appeared in front of me. It was warm, steamy, and smelled really good.
You should have one while it's hot.
Of the 2 that Lugus bought, the other one he gave to me. Huh? For me?
Take it.
He held it out to me, so I took it without thinking. I never thought Lugus would treat me to food. I'll pay you for it.
This was for my sister. You don't need to worry about it.
If brother bought it for me, I can't let it go to waste. Oh, what about you, brother? Won't you have some?
I'm fine. I don't like sweets.
That's true. It's alright. If there's no honey on it, I think it'll still be good too. I'd like one more. This one without honey.
Gotcha!
What a good sister. Lugus immediately received a warm piece of bread. He looked surprised, but his expression was gentle.
Then I'll have one. Thank you, T.
Not gonna lie, I would want one without honey as well. I'm not a fan of honey, so like some warm bread would just be mwah, delightful. I should be the one thanking you, brother! Seeing what was happening in front of me, I couldn't help but be surprised. So these 2 siblings are like this when they're alone. They looked so close it warmed my heart. Oh, just you wait till a couple chapters from now, you won't be saying that anymore. Let's sit down over there to eat. Although I don't like it one bit, you may join us. Her attitude showed that she didn't want me there, but was allowing it because her brother bought a pastry for me. She's quite pointed in her attitude, as usual, but I responded with a smile. Sure, then let's eat it together. What are you laughing about? Cheese. You. Oh my goodness. This is great. Wow, it's like a cinnamon bun and a muffin and jam? Honey mixed all into one? What am I looking at? It looks delicious though. I love that T's got hearts in her eyes and Jed, like, inside is still like, you know, her short black-haired version and it's just like stars. Oh, yes, it's so good. Lugus, T, and I sat down by the steps near the town square. We were an unusual bunch. I sat down directly on the steps, but T took out a handkerchief to lay on the steps before sitting on it. I guess that's what girls do. I felt embarrassed at not knowing the proper way of doing these things, but I decided to forget about it and just ate the bread. The outside was crunchy and the inside was fluffy. The parts with honey burst with sweetness at first taste. I took one bite after another and felt the savory, buttery flavor melt in my mouth. It's so fluffy and delicious! What is this? I've never had bread this good before! We both cried out in joy and took more bites. Its sweetness and warmth had all the right spots. It was the best snack for a cold day like today.
Are you happy?
Lugus looked at me and mumbled that before finishing the bread in 3 bites. Hop, 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 hop. He ate so fast that I couldn't help but stare. Our eyes then met.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I just noticed how quickly you ate. If you eat that fast, do you even taste anything? Why do people always say this? It tastes so good, you eat it fast. Of course it tastes good. Look, I'm a fast eater, okay? I may or may not eat bread in 3 bites. You can't prove anything either way. But it's because it tastes really good. I'm not inhaling it. It tastes good. Don't be like that, Jed, please. Thank you, Lugus.
I did taste it just fine. It was good.
He said it bluntly, so it was hard to believe. But I probably wouldn't have believed him if he said it was bad. I nodded and agreed. T, on the other hand, was chewing slowly and savoring it. It feels like it's a waste to finish this. It's so soft and fragrant. How in the world did they make this? I think there are eggs inside. Or maybe buttermilk from how soft it is. I ate it while trying to break it down, and T looked at me with wide eyes. You seem to be knowledgeable about this. Well, it's because I like to cook myself. Although I only made stuff on the cheap. Cheapy cheap. T blinked a few more times and turned away. I didn't ask because I was impressed or anything. Her harsh-sounding words came off endearing, bringing a smile to my face, and soon enough we finished off the bread. Goodbye, bread. Huh. It was so tasty. I completely underestimated this kind of street food.
We can come again sometime.
It's alright, but maybe once in a while. It was delicious. Thank you very much. I thought I had only given a casual thank you, but Lugus only stared back at me.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Let's go, T.
Yes, brother! The Hawk siblings left the town square quickly. I think this was a really rare experience. I caught a glimpse of the relationship those two had. I saw how much T enjoyed that bread and how kind Lugus was to his sister. For a moment, I didn't even think of them as the opposing faction. I wish I could have talked to both Lugus and T more. Well, there's still time before the masquerade, girl. That was so wholesome. I love that. I'm also now starving for bread, so... Good job, game! Alright, well that is that for this map, so moving on once again, and I'll bring you guys in a little later. And when I said a little later, it really was just a little later. I think like one scene happened, nothing major. So we're at our final map, and there's 3 episodes on this one, which is great. But first, our final interview question for Mr. Lugus is, if spring comes to this town?
Spring. There is nothing but winter in this town. If spring suddenly arrived, the people would panic. There is more to it than simply desiring it. That would be something to remember when your environment changes. However, if this fog and snowy clouds could clear, it wouldn't be bad to go outside of the town.
He still wants to leave. He's like, even if spring comes here, I'm out. I want to leave this place. Oh, that's great. Okay, so we've got our 3 episodes. Since I'm already at the square, We'll do Lugus's favorite. Sure. Favorite what? I walked through the lively town square. Calls from shopkeepers, drawing, and customers flew over my head. People of all kinds were about. How many times had I come here to investigate? I already asked most of the shopkeepers here. I'd rather talk to someone I didn't see often. Or maybe someone with the hawks. I looked around the crowds of people and noticed a tall man. That one is a bit... I couldn't say if the timing was good or bad. The man who stood out was Lugus, because he always stands out. He was with the Alliance, and they were all talking together with serious expressions. They might have been working on something. In the end, it was still Lugus. If there were other people around, it probably wouldn't take too long. I'd feel bad about interfering with his work. I could ask him, and if he wasn't receptive, I could always leave. As I thought that, I walked toward him where he was standing in the middle of the square. Before I reached him, however... Whoa! A large piece of luggage hit me from my blind spot. It must have been filled with tools, but by the time I realized it was too late. I lost my balance and fell. Suddenly, a strong arm was holding me up. Oh! Lugus picked me up and placed me down next to him. Thank you? It was like he was treating me like a child or some load. Some kind of load. I was so embarrassed that my ears went red with heat. Just don't let your eye go red with heat. Thanks. You saved me.
It's fine. Did you want something? I noticed you were walking toward me.
I was impressed that he noticed. He turned to the young man he was talking to earlier.
Wait for me at the tavern. I'll head there once I'm done. Understood.
I did not expect this. I was planning on leaving if he was busy. I didn't think he would put off his work for later. I'm sorry. I didn't have anything urgent. If you're busy with work, maybe we can do this another time.
I can only meet you by coincidence. Or will you promise to meet me another time? I don't mind either way.
Lugus had put me down next to him, so we were in close proximity. Because he said that so close to my face, I started to feel nervous. That's kind of cute that he's like, I only meet you by coincidence, so when I catch you, I'm like, everything can wait. No, it's really nothing much.
Then we can save it for another occasion. It'll be better when you have more time.
What? You'd do that? No, it's really nothing, so it shouldn't take too long.
Maybe not for you, but there's something I need to ask you.
What is that?
I know nothing about you. If you don't want to tell me your name, we can speak of other things. I simply wish to know you better.
That's... He wanted to know me as an ordinary girl? That's not possible. If he found out I was with the wolves and that I usually dress like a man, if he found out that he already knew me, would Lugus say the same things as he did now? Well, we're gonna find out. That's not something I can speak casually about, and this is not the right place for it.
Then we can go elsewhere.
He showed so little hesitation that it was scary. In contrast, I was so pitifully timid myself. I'm sorry. I forgot what I was going to ask you, and I need to go see someone right now.
Then promise you will next time. You can tell me when you remember what you wanted to say to me.
I was thinking of running, but had to back away. I almost bumped into someone because of that. Oh, excuse me. No, I should be sorry. I dodged the old woman at the last minute, but she lost her balance and fell into my arms. Are you all right? Are you hurt? Not really. She was breathing heavily and appeared quite exhausted with her wobbling legs.
Were you looking for someone?
Lugus interjected from the side. He was really observant of his surroundings. Master Lugus. Well, my son, Forgot his trade tools. It's important to his work, so I tried to catch up to him.
With your health, there was no need to chase after him. Once he realized he forgot them, he would return to get them.
I thought I would be able to catch up right away. That might have been true if she was healthy. The old woman must have trouble with her legs. She seemed to struggle even standing. Are his trade tools in this bundle? And where is your son now? He went that way. He is carrying a stack of papers. Over there! I'll take it to him, so leave it to me.
Hey!
I took the bundle from the old woman and parted my way through the crowd. Because the stack of papers stood out, I managed to keep him in my sights. I saw him go into an alley and followed him there. He must be in a hurry because he walked quickly down the alley. This skirt is in the way! I grabbed one edge of the skirt fluttering in the wind and ran while yelling, "Excuse me! Please, wait!" He still didn't notice, so I ran at full speed. Yeah? You doing good, girl? You forgot this! Oh, it's this guy. So that's your mom, eh? Interesting.
Oh?
I had to run past him before he finally stopped. I guess anyone would be surprised to see a woman running at them at full speed.
Oh, that's right! I forgot about this. Did my mother ask you to bring it to me? Thank you for that.
I'm glad I caught you in time.
I want to properly thank you, but I need to get on a job immediately. I'm sorry, but I need to go now. But thank you.
The man quickly walked away. This completed the task of helping the old woman. Side quest complete. I turned around with a sigh of relief and saw Lugus standing right there. When did you...
I thought you wouldn't be able to catch up because you're a woman, but it appears you didn't need my help.
I do have confidence in my endurance. I was breathing heavily, but Lugus didn't seem to be out of breath at all. If I hadn't caught the man and gave up, would Lugus have finished the delivery for me? I couldn't imagine it, but a part of me wanted to see that.
You're almost too kind.
What do you mean?
This is the fault of the man who forgot his own tools. And that old woman could have just waited for her son to return. And yet, you helped both of them. You're too soft-hearted.
It's nothing. If someone is in trouble in our town, I want to help. Lugus said nothing while staring at me.
So you're saying it's for the town?
I'm not trying to be charitable or anything. Lugus observed me. After a pause, he opened his mouth.
I found out one more thing about you.
His smile made my heart beat faster. Imagine, like, he smiles at her and that's the face she makes, like, oh, that smile.
Not bad at all.
Huh?
I spent too much time here despite wanting to save the discussion earlier. We should return.
After saying that, Lugus walked close to me. I was wary, wondering what he would do, but he touched my skirt.
It was flipped up a little. Well then, until next time.
I couldn't say anything as I watched him leave. That was too embarrassing! I had rolled up the skirt to help me run better and didn't think to smooth it back into place. Well, I felt embarrassed that we were talking while my skirt was flipped up. And the fact Lugus fixed it for me was embarrassing too. Fixing a skirt is probably an insignificant matter to him since he had a little sister of his own. Yeah, but you're not a sister. I've only shown him embarrassing sides of me today. I managed to deflect the topic, but I didn't ask him about the Kaleidovia. I heaved a heavy sigh. I'd better return to the old woman. She's probably worried. I returned to the town square on shaky footing. I always act strange when I'm with Lugus. I felt so ashamed and wanted to blame it all on someone. Not me, though. Anyone else. Okay, well, we'll assume she found the old lady. Alright, what's our last two? Love triangle. That sounds spicy. Or stained glass. Let's leave the spicy sounding one for last. Let's do stained glass. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Right when I tried to open the door to the church, I bumped into Lawrence. Hey, Lawrence, it's been a hot minute. You scared me. Are you going out, Lawrence?
I'll be right back. Did you want something?
Not exactly. I was just thinking of taking a break here.
Ah. Oh, look at your legs. You let your guard down again.
I put my legs together. Even while wearing a skirt, I stood the way I usually did if I didn't keep thinking about it. Don't look at my legs, Lawrence. Who cares about that? I'm tired of being dressed in this, so I came to the church to take a break.
I see. Well, make yourself at home.
I thought she had flipped her skirt up again. I'm like, girl, how do you keep doing this? He left with a smile. Lawrence appears relaxed all the time, but he's actually really sharp. Too sharp. I took a breath and headed to the farther end of the church. When I sat down on the pew, I noticed that there was someone else there. He stared at a single point and didn't move. His line of sight was fixed on the stained glass window. The color from the window was far from vibrant due to the cloudy sky, but it was still a beautiful sight. I could understand why he would stare at it. And yet, Lugus had a serious and tense expression on his face. I took a few steps toward him. He noticed and called out to me.
It's you.
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt something?
No, I was just looking at it.
I came to the church often, but it was the first time I saw Lugus there. I had a hard time imagining him praying, but seeing him stare at the stained glass was just as strange. You seemed to be concentrated on it. Do you like stained glass windows?
Well...
He turned towards the window with a troubled look. He then lightly shook his head.
I've never thought about that. It was just that these stained glass windows were frighteningly beautiful.
Frighteningly? I look up at it again. I didn't have any opinions on it other than how beautiful it was. Maybe he has a personal attachment to it.
Yup.
Was there someone on your mind?
What do you mean?
Like an old flame? I said something unnecessary to make conversation.
I've never been fixated on any woman before.
Well, excuse me. T did tell me before. Women lined up to ask him to dance during the masquerade, so I was not to go near him. I thought that just meant he was that popular.
Recently, the circumstances have changed slightly.
Oh? Really? In what way? I wonder what he could mean by this. Lugus's strong gaze was pointed at me, causing my heart to jump. I see.
Never mind me. What about you?
What do you mean by that?
Do you like beautiful things of this sort? Or perhaps you prefer hair accessories or jewels? Or even beautiful clothes?
Oh, that's what he meant. I suddenly felt more relaxed. I knew that I brought it up to start with, but this topic was far better than continuing to talk about love and whatnot. I don't dislike them, but if I had to say whether I like them or not, I wouldn't know, as I've never even touched them.
You've never touched them?
I don't own any pretty clothes or jewels. I didn't think I had a need for them. It feels like they're all from another world.
What about flowers?
Oh, I love flowers.
I see. You do love flowers, then.
Oh man, Boyd was so smooth, I didn't even pick up on that. He's like, so... gifting ideas. Do you like jewelry, clothing? What's the vibe here? Chocolates? He's like, okay, Flowers. Making a note. Lugus put his hand to his chin while thinking of something. I'm answering his questions honestly, but is this some sort of investigation? In a way. I tilted my head to the side in confusion, but Lugus continued.
What about the rest? Warm fur coats, desserts. Don't you have at least one thing you like?
Why do you ask? Am I under investigation?
Because I want to know. Why else would I ask? I'm interested in you.
Huh? I thought it was part of his investigation of the citizens here. It now felt awkward knowing that he was interested in me personally. There's nothing interesting about me. I don't have the time or deep enough pockets to think about luxuries.
Do you live a destitute life?
Well, I am poor. My own words cut me like a sharp sword.
Then let me give you a gift. What would you like?
Huh? No. How did he come to that conclusion? Lugus appeared as serious as ever.
You're impoverished, are you not? Then say what you desire right now.
Huh? Groceries for dinner and a new cooking pot. Wait, I mean... That was close. I almost let out what I was really thinking. I mean, you did kind of let it out already. Ahem. I have no intention of begging. And you shouldn't say those things so lightly. There will be people who will take advantage.
I wouldn't mind, even if they did.
No! That'd be a waste of money!
I see. But if there is anything you like that I can give you, it wouldn't be a waste.
Damn this rich boy! That is the best line in this game so far. Damn this rich boy! What does he think he is? How can I say this in a way he would understand? I tried thinking of different words, but it was better to push him away at this point. I don't like accepting charity. Even if you're okay with the idea, I wouldn't be. If it is something I like, I would rather obtain it myself. I could tell Lugus's face was clouding over. I did feel sorry, but this was for his own good. He needs to have a better perception of money. Well, you should become his personal assistant and help him manage his money. Maybe marry him. So you can really closely keep an eye on things. If someone close to me gave me a gift completely for my sake, I wouldn't have reason to refuse. That's different from mere charity in the way that their emotions for me took the shape of something physical. But...
I see. Then that means you'll accept.
Why won't he listen? Well... I didn't know how much he'd continue to argue about gift-giving. Right now, it seemed more like we were both being stubborn. Lugus didn't appear to be joking, so I couldn't ask anymore.
What about food?
Huh?
There is food you like, isn't there? What do you like to eat?
Food. I wavered at the sound of that. It was true that my place currently didn't even have a single loaf of bread. No, I can't. I have to stand my ground here. There isn't anything in particular. I thought about what to say while being ambiguous. Lugus frowned disapprovingly.
What about sweet biscuits with honey? T loves that sort of thing.
I mean, you did kind of buy that for me already. That was a cute thing to like. I found it a bit heartwarming that Lugus could bring it up as an example so quickly.
What's the matter?
Nothing. They are sweet and delicious. I rarely get a chance to eat them, though.
So, that's one of them.
If I could change his expression like that, it made me feel that would be alright to receive one gift. Oh, but just one is enough. I don't need that many.
I know. Would it be alright for me to treat you to one the next time we meet?
But I won't be able to give you anything back.
You won't give that up, will you? No matter. I'm starting to understand your character.
That declaration without hesitation was very much like Lugus, the son of the Hawk Lord who wasn't influenced by anyone. She says, like she's not influencing him. I don't like to owe anyone anything.
You sound like a man when you say that.
Really? That made my heart jump a little. I was being honest, but maybe I should have been a little more feminine.
Those with strong wills deserve respect, regardless of being a man or a woman.
Will?
To think and decide for yourself.
Lugus's expression brightened. And the thing he's most attracted to in girls is a strong will in her eyes, so he's basically saying he's really attracted right now. Him. As I pondered over Lugus's words, he spoke to end the conversation.
I spent too much time here. Let's meet again someday. Do you come here often?
No. Only occasionally. If I said I came here often, I might meet him more.
Then we shall meet in another place. If possible, I'd like to set a meeting date. I want to...
Oh, that's right! I've promised to meet someone. I'll have to excuse myself. This girl just keeps vanishing on this poor boy like Cinderella. Good grief. I ran away as fast as I could. I didn't know why, but it felt so embarrassing to talk to Lugus at that moment. I pushed against the door to exit the church, and it opened with little effort. Apparently, it was already half open. Right beside the door was Lawrence! I knew! Damn you, always sneaking around, listening for things. Eavesdropping all the time. Lawrence? Were you listening?
No. I didn't hear any of the details. It seems you two were talking about something important, so I guess I missed my chance.
Still, his expression was full of curiosity, and I don't believe him for a second.
Are you going back already? It wouldn't hurt for you to set up a meeting for next time.
I freaking knew it! Lawrence! You were listening! I yelled loudly, but quickly covered my mouth hoping that Lugus didn't hear me. Anyway, I'm leaving now.
Take care now. Come back at any time.
Lawrence just ships her with anybody. Honestly. My cheeks were hot. I came here originally to take a break, but I felt so much more tired now. Neither Lugus nor Lawrence were at fault for anything. All that happened was that I realized I was a woman. Even more than these clothes could ever make me believe. I didn't even know how to accept gifts. But Lugus said he didn't know what to give me, so we could leave it at that. I think he's planning to give you another honey bun. For the time being, I didn't want any gifts. And with that, I continue on my way, walking through the streets in silence in an effort to regain my composure.